Good day from CBS News. This is Newsbreak. While most of the Northeast was darkened by rain clouds, people in Atlanta have the best view of today's almost total lunar eclipse of the sun, one of nature's rarest spectaculars. Temperatures fall and confused animals fall asleep. A turboprop cargo plane that apparently exploded in midair crashed today outside Uniontown, Pennsylvania, killing all 4 on board. Bolivia has suspended payments on its foreign debt of $4.5 billion after workers protested government-imposed austerity measures. More than a fourth of the debt is owed U.S. banks. In Colorado Springs, President Reagan urged Air Force Academy graduates today to take on the challenges of space exploration. Now this.
Got a decorating problem? At a Sherwin-Williams store, you'll find the products and the advice you need to make your home look beautiful. Just
The leader of Britain's striking coal miners was arrested today after a clash with police, and strikers briefly took over government coal offices in London. The Soviet TASS news agency says dissident Andrei Sakharov is feeling well and is not on a hunger strike, but TASS did not comment on reports that Sakharov has been hospitalized. International Olympic chief Samaranch is arriving in Moscow on a mission almost impossible, a final try at reversing the Los Angeles boycott. I'm Douglas Edwards, CBS News, New York. More news later, right here.
This is CBS.
Model, and when the power saver downshifts to low speed, the savings really add up. Call one of these independent Lennox dealers today.
Hi, I'm Gene Bernard.
And I'm Jim Waters.
If you live in Stone Mountain, call B&W Complete Service for energy-saving equipment.
Hi, I'm Greg Powers. For quality service and reliable Lennox equipment, call us at Powers Heating and Air Conditioning.
WAGA TV5, Atlanta. From TV5, this is Eyewitness News with Paul Shields and Jackie Maddox. Mark Bradley with weather and the Eyewitness News team.
And today, special live coverage of the solar eclipse.
Good afternoon. Skies over Atlanta clear as the natural phenomenon known as the eclipse has begun to grace the Atlanta skyline. We'll have a full live coverage during the event of this half hour. Meanwhile, back on Earth, a grinding wreck last night, leaving 3 Cobb County youths dead, and hundreds of residents face eviction from Atlanta's landmark neighborhood, Pershing Point. Jack?
But again, our top story, the one we've all been waiting for, the solar eclipse. We are well into it right now. It started around 11, will be over by 2, and we're just minutes away from maximum eclipse. We have several live reports. First, TV5's Jim Axel live at one of the area's best viewing spots, Piedmont Park.
Yeah,
Jim.
It's like a party here, a big picnic party, Jackie. Just thousands of people, as you can see, coming out. Many of them have brought their cameras. They want to take pictures of it. There's a jazz band playing for everybody here. It's really a magnificent event with a lot of people, and they're all having a big party. Now, this is the first time I've covered a solar event like this, and for many of these people, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Solar eclipses happen several times each year, but rarely do they pass right through a metropolitan area. There hasn't been one over Atlanta in more than 80 years, and there won't be another for another 33 years. Now, this one will cast an almost total shadow up through Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia, and up into the Carolinas. The path, 4 to 6 miles wide, enters Georgia near Noonan, comes right through Atlanta, and heads up I-85 to Greenville. As it passes through Atlanta, there will be many spots along the way offering extremely good viewing of this phenomenon. Now, if you're looking for a place to go to see the eclipse safely projected, well, you could go to Fernbanks Observatory, the Emory University campus, or downtown at Georgia State or Georgia Tech, and there are others, but you will see it better right here on TV5. Now, what you'll see will be magnificent if clouds don't block the view where you are. Now, this annular eclipse will be 99.7% total, meaning it will leave either a very slight ring around the moon or a series of what appears to be beads known as Bailey's beads, the ring broken by the peaks and valleys of the moon. We'll know in only about 20 minutes. But the perfect moment, 99.7% totality, will be at 12:23, and it only lasts 9 to 11 seconds before the moon begins its travel out of the sun's path.
Now, for the amateur astronomer, this is just a once-in-a-lifetime event. And we're here with Tom Carter, a freelance writer who is an amateur astronomer. Now, you've got a big telescope set up here, and you've got a projected image. What have you been able to learn from this that's interested you?
The two main things that I was looking for, apart from just seeing what the eclipse looks like, this is my first solar eclipse. I was very interested in seeing whether or not I could see mountains on the moon.
Yeah, the mountains and valleys of the moon.
Right. We've got two here. They don't show up very much at all.
Oh, we can see them though. So you've been real thrilled by the fact that you can actually see those mountains on the moon.
Right. And also, I was interested to see the moon obstruct sunspots.
Okay, thank you very much. Tom Carter, an amateur astronomer. And of course, in a few minutes, it's going to get dark here, it's going to get cooler here, and the same thing is going to happen where Ken Cook is. Ken?
That's right, Jim, and as a matter of fact, here at TV5, it's already starting to feel cooler. Next time you see me, I think I'm going to have my jacket on. Channel 5 happens to be just about 1/2 a mile off the center of the path of near total darkness, and with me today, Dr. Bob Hayward of Emory, but Fernbank, excuse me, and various students from the high schools in DeKalb County. Now, why are the students here? What are they doing?
Well, it's basically a learning process for the students, Ken. What they're doing is learning how to take data in various areas. We've got experiments in the life sciences, in meteorology, and in astronomy.
Let's just walk down the table here quickly and look at what they're doing. Here is a biological experiment.
Right. They're taking a look at some phantom midges to see how they react.
All right, we'll talk about that more in just a minute. Here we have a solar...
We're measuring the intensity of solar energy there.
And these young ladies over here have been taking temperature readings.
Right, temperature and humidity, wind speed, and direction.
All right, now tell us a little bit about what's going on up there above our shoulders, which we are not going to look at, but we're looking at through various instruments. What's going on?
Well, essentially what's happening is in its motion around the sun, the Earth is moving, and the moon, of course, is moving around the Earth, and the two things have come in coincidence so that the moon has moved directly in front of the sun, and therefore it's blocking out most of the sunlight at this point.
Now, somewhere across the Earth, this happens several times a year, but...
Right, there are 3 what we call eclipse seasons each year, so you could have as many, actually, as 5 solar eclipses a year, but you've got to have 2.
Okay, Bob. We'll talk to you more about that when we come back in just a little bit. Now we'll go to Jackie.
Okay, thank you, Ken. And it's a big day in Atlanta. The eclipse is underway.
It is indeed.
In other news, a deadly wreck in Cobb County last night leaves 3 young people dead.
But as Jackie told you, and as you've just seen, our top story is the eclipse. We're roughly 10 to 15 minutes away from maximum. We'll have highlights of it next when Eyewitness News continues.
West Building Material Centers are blasting away at high prices during the Wild West Days sale. That's right, partner. And you'll save a bundle on West's complete selection of Croft aluminum windows. They're easy to install, single hung, single glazed. And West has Croft bronze insulated windows at barn burner prices. So fill your wagon with value now during the Wild West Days sale at West. You can always buy the best, buy it for less. Buy it at West.
2 for 1, 2 for 1. 2 sets of French for 1 low price. 2 for 1, 2 for 1. 2 sets of French for 1 one low price.
Bring your Color film to Reed Discount Drugs and get 2 sets of color prints for one low price. 2 for 1 from Reed.
2 for 1, 2 for 1. 2 sets of prints for one low price.
From Reed Discount Drugs.
Your 2 for 1 photo store.
Remember when you were a kid and ice cream was really something special?
Uh-huh.
Well, meet something special from Sara Lee.
Oh, is it as good as Sara Lee cheesecake?
It's Sara Lee, but it's ice cream.
As good as Sara Lee cheesecake?
It's Sara Lee, but it's ice cream. Go ahead, try some. Only Sara Lee ice cream has the naturally smooth Sara Lee taste that makes ice cream something special again. Well?
It's good.
As good as Sara Lee cheesecake?
It's Sara Lee, but it's ice cream.
New Sara Lee ice cream. Something special from someone you know.
3 Cobb County youths killed last night on Blackwell Road in north central Cobb County. Police believe the driver of the car lost control of the vehicle and that it ran off the road at least twice before flying through the air. Police think the car traveled about 75 feet in the air, going over Rube Creek and crashing into a tree on the other side. The victims have been identified as 19-year-old Brian Ferber of Ackworth, driver of the car. 20-year-old Jerry Nix of Smyrna was in the car, and 18-year-old Matthew Abrams of East Marietta also died in that accident. An investigation continues.
Well, that proposed 42-story office tower to be built next to the Lenox Square MARTA rail station is now won approval of the MARTA board. The developer, James McMahon, is going to pay rent for the air rights above the MARTA tracks in order to build the office complex, which is going to be known as Resurgence Plaza. McMahon has also posted a $1 million bond, which would be forfeited if the station's mid-December opening is delayed by construction.
Move out by the end of the year. The ordered issue to residents of a Pershing Point apartment complex. John Williams, who bought the property back in March, said in a letter to tenants that rehabilitation of the property was impractical and that he was considering various options, including apartments, condominiums, and various commercial uses for that site.
Well, for the first time in 3 years, the city of Atlanta has now set formal standards that police officers must meet in order to qualify for promotion. Now, under those rules, future police promotion candidates must pass a written test, react properly under simulated stress situations, and also must complete a 1-year probation. Public Safety Committee approved the new standards, but they must also still be approved by the full city council on Monday. Well, Art, the clear skies are here, and the eclipse is underway. What's in the future?
Well, the future for today is cool temperatures that partly are the result of the eclipse, and we set record lows last night. Tell you all about it in a couple of minutes.
Lollipops. They're 2 treats in one. A delicious Charms lollipop with soft bubblegum inside. And I depend on Charms for quality. Real good, kids. What'll it be? Lollipop or bubblegum?
Both.
You got it. Blow Pops. A great tasting lollipop with soft, chewy bubblegum inside.
I buy them by the pop.
I buy them by the bag.
The new Big Star Price Finder for specials contains all the specials in the store, hundreds of them. Here's a sample.
Coca-Cola, Tab, or Sprite. 6-pack of 12-ounce cans, only $1.49. Wise Cottage Fries Potato Chips, 12-ounce package, just $1.69. And White House Apple Juice, 64-ounce bottle, only $1.39.
With this new Price Finder for specials, you won't miss specials or have to wait for weekly food ads. It's a new way to shop for bargains, only at Big Star.
Come on, don't hold a grudge. I didn't know that Alpo beef-flavored dinner cost the same as those other dry dog foods. I never even looked. I mean, who would have thought that Alpo, the one with more meat protein than 10 pounds of sirloin, cost the same as those others? Tell you what, you forgive me, and I'll forget about what you did to my shoes, huh?
Alpo beef-flavored dinner. Real meat protein at a really good price. To be the very best at what you do, you gotta have more than talent.
2, 3, 4, 5.
You gotta have dedication. At 94Q, the Music FM, we're dedicated to quality programming for Atlanta's most demanding and dedicated people. Our listeners, 94Q, dedicated to you.
great eclipse weather.
Beautiful weather outside for watching the eclipse. Set record lows all over the countryside. 35 cities across the country, particularly on the East Coast, set record low temperatures last night. The coldest in Georgia was 38 degrees at Blairsville, 43 at Clayton, and then 44 for a record low temperature last night here in the Atlanta area. 46 over in Athens, records, 49 in Macon and Columbus, record lows for the state. At 11 o'clock, it was 56 in our towns, in the mid-60s across the rest of the state. Really cold air coming out of a high-pressure system that is currently located in Kansas. Here's the eclipse. It'll be total at about 23 minutes after the hour. It's an absolutely great picture. Thanks to technology, we've got a gorgeous shot there. Our temperature is only 57 degrees Fahrenheit at noon. That's 14 Celsius or centigrade. My personal feeling is that we're going to set another record today, partly responsible because of the lack of sunshine right now. I don't think that it'll get above 66 degrees, which will be a record low for a high temperature. The high yesterday was 68, the low this morning, the record of 44. You see the record high and lows on this date. We have clear skies, getting partly dark now. Humidity is 51%. We've had no rain. We have gusty winds from the north at 20 to 30 miles an hour. We have a steady barometer. Sunrise at 6:29 tomorrow morning. It'll be back out in a little while, and then it'll set at 8:41 this evening. Let's take a look at our satellite map. Look at the absence of clouds across most of the United States. Some up in the Central Plains states, up in the northern Rockies where they're starting to have some showers. But across most of the Gulf states until you get to Florida, then along the coastline of the Carolinas up into New England where they're having very, very heavy rains and flooding conditions, and then some clouds along the eastern Great Lakes. Beautiful weather for viewing of the eclipse, but don't look at it except here on TV5. Our forecast for Atlanta and vicinity, eclipse time right now. It'll be a full eclipse at 23 minutes after. I think it'll only get up to 66 today. Fair and cool again tonight, possibly record-setting low temperature of 45 degrees. Beautiful weather for the rest of the week under sunny skies, gradual warming. We couldn't ask for better weather just in general and also to view the eclipse.
Just ideal. Thanks, Art. We'll check with you later.
Art. As Art mentioned, the countdown is on for maximum eclipse. It's about 8 minutes away. Atlanta sits in the path of it all, and our own Ken Cook is outside in the middle of it all, looking at the latest.
That's right, Jackie. About 7.5 minutes away now. As you can see from this special projection screen here, just a bit of the sun left. We'll be back in just a moment to take a look at the full eclipse.
Colonial Bread is celebrating summer. Come on in. Colonial's got something for everybody. Like this full-size float. These great beach towels. This summer picnic cooler from Colonial. And this outdoor lamp. Even ice pop molds. And all by just collecting your summer fun certificates from Colonial Bread. Better hurry. It can't last.
Colonial Bread. We've got the best right here.
Get ready, America, no matter where you live. An Anatomy Asylum is coming in your city near you to help you with your needs. We have classes for everybody.
So far, I've lost over 100 pounds here at Richard Simmons Anatomy Asylum. Now I'm an instructor.
I didn't come here to lose weight. I came here to have fun and stay in shape.
Come to the Anatomy Asylum. We have classes for overweighters, for couples, for beginners, for advanced. If you have to lose weight or if you don't have to lose weight, we want to help you stay healthy. See you there.
50% off VIP enrollment fee or 7 classes for $7. Call for Anatomy Asylum nearest you.
This old 3-ton home air conditioner costs $583 a year to operate. Replace it now with a Carrier high-efficiency round one that does the job for only $380, a savings of $1691 every month at today's energy rates. New Carrier Comfort with a 5-year limited warranty can cost as little as $40 a month, and energy savings will help you make the payments. Call your Carrier dealer now.
Your Carrier dealers are Mike Vining Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlanta and Stockbridge, Lawson Air Conditioning in Gainesville, and Pruitt Heating and Air Conditioning in Jefferson.
Thrills and spills and arts and crafts, rafts of fun and sidewalk shows, big brass bands and country jams, string quartets and rock and roll. So much to do, so much to see. This is the place where you want to be. Don't miss June in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Complete schedule of events plus big hotel discounts. Call now, toll free, 1-800-322-3344.
Well, that long-awaited, much-talked-about apex of the annular eclipse is now roughly just 5 minutes away. We're going to go back live now to Jim Axel at Piedmont Park to give us the latest update. Jim, is it getting dark out there?
It is already starting to get just a little bit darker. Almost the beginning of twilight is the way it appears. It is starting to get a little cooler as well. There is a breeze out here, Paul. It's a little difficult for us to tell whether there's a relationship with that, but there's a real party atmosphere, a picnic atmosphere out here. One thing we want to remind you again, do not look directly at the sun. Use only indirect viewing methods. You may notice when this happens, your pets act a little bit funny. That's to be expected too. So let's check in with Ken Cook and get some idea of what's going on scientifically. Ken, you're a meteorologist. You can give us a better idea of how this may affect our weather today.
Well, the only thing I can tell you, Jim, is that the temperature is dropping. We're taking temperature measurements out here, and the temperature has fallen now from 59 a while ago to 52, and it feels awfully cold, and there's just an eerie light about it. It's just an eeriness, and I think everybody who is out here feels it. And as you look over here, we're projecting the image of the sun onto the screen, and you can just see how much is left. Just a mere crescent of the sun is left, and at 23 minutes after the hour, which is only about 3 or 4 minutes from right now, just about all of that 99.7% will be gone, and we'll be in almost total darkness for a few seconds. Jim?
And we want to remind everyone once again that when that almost totality comes, that's a very dangerous period. Do not look directly at the sun. It's going to be remarkable. We're going to come back for it, show you exactly what it looks like, and we'll be back with that right after these messages.
Roaches are tough. We steal food.
Fleas are tougher. We bite people.
Steal food.
Bite.
The toughest thing about roaches and fleas is getting rid of them.
Toughest!
But now there's Raid Roach and Flea Killer, specially formulated to kill roaches and fleas dead.
Raid's tough stuff. Raid!
Raid Roach and Flea Killer kills roaches and fleas dead.
Hi, Mom.
Just thought to bring a few things over for my daughter's first apartment.
Thanks. Wow, look how much this 4-pack of bathroom tissue costs.
It's the Scott Tissue 4-pack.
But it costs more.
But it has double the sheets of your 4-pack. Look, it takes 2 of your leading brand 4-packs to give you as many sheets as one Scott Tissue 4-pack.
So Scott Tissue gives me more for my money.
Now you're talking like a smart shopper, Amy.
The Scott Tissue 4-pack with double the sheets. More for your money.
You can always expect low prices and the best values at Food Giant. This week, fresh ground beef, great for cooking out, ground fresh several times daily, is only 99 cents a pound. Premium quality golden ripe Chiquita bananas are such a treat, and they're a low 29 cents a pound. And there's nothing tastier than delicious Food Giant ice cream or ice milk. A half-gallon carton is just 99 cents this week at Food Giant.
Expect the best at Food Giant.
Well, Bossy, it looks like folks just couldn't do without you. Yeah, it says here you're being called back to the dairy so they can make more of this Buttermatch blend. You see, Buttermatch blend's a half stick of real sweet cream butter. That's you. And a delicious light spread with lower cholesterol.
Buttermatch blend, the spread with a half stick of real butter in every pound. Buttermatch. Even the price is something to moo about.
As you may already know, darkness is fast approaching. The eclipse is well underway. It'll be peak eclipse time in just a couple more minutes, and witnessing it all live, as you've been seeing throughout our newscast, Jim Axel in Piedmont Park.
Jackie, it is very strange at a little bit after high noon to have to use lights here in order to be on television with you. But it is an eerie feeling. It is slowly getting very, very dark here. We remind you again, do not look directly at the sun during this very critical period coming up. There is a live picture. This is the best way for you to watch it right here. Back at the station, Ken Cook and Dr. Bob Hayward from Fernbank Science Center. Dr. Hayward, if I could ask you one thing, We noticed the wind picked up here. Is that because of the temperature change that's occurring, that we're noticing some difference in the wind coming, or is that just incidental to what's occurring, Dr. Haywood?
Well, I think it's incidental to the temperature change that's occurring underneath the shadow as the shadow approaches us.
There's a very interesting thing starting to happen, Jim, and Dr. Hayward pointed out we're starting to get a beading effect. Doctor, you want to comment on that?
Well, the beads are caused by the mountains of the moon cutting off part of the image of the sun, whereas the rest of the image is coming through the valleys on the moon. And we're seeing about 2 little beads down here on the bottom of our image, another one up at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you're getting a picture. Robert, are you getting a picture of that and sending it home? A couple of beads starting to form now on the lower end, also on the top end. A very interesting phenomenon, a very eerie feeling out here as it's starting to get dark now. Jim?
Well, here, everybody's kind of softening just a little bit and kind of looking. This is when the temptation is the biggest to look up at that sun. Do not do it. Don't look at it. It can be extremely dangerous. We're less than a minute away. Let's keep watching the picture now so we can see exactly what happens. In about 30 seconds, we're going to hit that period of time where all we will see is the annular or annulus around the sun. Now, we're still unsure whether that's going to be a complete ring or whether we're going to see the beaded effect, Bailey's beads as it is known, but it should be coming up any time. You can see the picture there. It is very dramatic. People here are starting to cheer because they feel that it is very, very close. You can hear the noise in the background. Everybody is beginning to applaud. This is amazing. In the middle of Piedmont Park, dark in the middle of the day, and there you see it. There you see the beating effect up at the top in our picture. A very, very dramatic moment. It only lasts about 9 seconds. It's already over. It's now starting its path going the other way. It didn't last very long, Ken.
We're looking at this, Doctor, now that the sun has passed.
Right.
Going the other way.
The maximum has passed. We're getting a few more beads on the other side. That's right. As the sun moves, or the moon moves away from in front of the sun, some of the other mountains on this side are beginning to show us some beads.
Let's see what one of the students might think about this. What did you think when that happened?
I thought it was neat.
I think that was the feeling in the crowd here as the sun is beginning to come out. As you can just see, we're brightening and brightening as we go along, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Just a phenomenal thing that was happening, and it just a weird feeling, I think, it just came across everybody. Jim?
Well, Ken, it went very, very quickly, and it wasn't here long. I understand that we have the ability, we hope, to play that for you again in case you were out getting a drink of water or something, because it only lasted for about 9 seconds where we actually got to see the annulus of this not quite total eclipse. Do we have the opportunity of playing that back so we can look at it again? We do not have the replay yet. We will get it for you in just a little while. Ken, here we had a lot of animals in the park, but I didn't get the opportunity to see how they were reacting, but people have said that the dogs in particular get very confused when it gets that dark. That's a normal thing? Would Dr. Haywood agree?
Well, that's right, Jim. What happens is animals, of course, don't understand eclipses, I guess. They think it's nighttime, and chickens tend to go to roost, and frogs tend to come out, and I haven't checked to see what our midges have done, but they do react as if it's coming on to dusk and twilight.
Yeah, and the darkness passed so quickly. I could not believe it. It got dark quickly, and it left quickly.
That's right. Well, you got to realize that the shadow is moving very, very quickly across the surface of the Earth as the Earth rotates and as the moon moves.
Now, what did we figure from New Orleans to here in about 18 minutes that shadow passed?
12:05 our time in New Orleans was the maximum down in that area of the southeast.
And 12:23 here, so that gives you an idea how fast the total or nearly total eclipse, or the annular part, is going on across.
12:40 something up in Petersburg.
So it's really moving. Folks, you want to catch it, you got to go about 1,200 miles an hour.
That's right. Okay.
Jim?
Yeah, it was moving about 900 to 1,000 miles per hour. Let's quickly ask some of the folks standing here if they enjoyed it. Do you enjoy seeing that?
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
Ever seen one before?
No.
Okay, you ever seen one before?
First time.
Exciting event for you, huh? Okay, we have the chance to show it to you again now, so let's look at a replay of the 9-second period. Here it is, right before it came up. Right before it came up, it's just moving in now, moving from like 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, as they'd say. There you can see the 2 little beads at the top that formed. That we were able to notice very easily. Right there it's it, and it's already now starting to pass its way through, moving very, very rapidly, and there it eases off the side, and it all was over in just a matter of seconds. Pretty dramatic though, right, Ken?
That's right, it certainly was. Well, let's check one of our biological experiments here and see what happened to these midges. And what is your name?
Jackie.
And what school do you go to?
Clarkston.
Okay, Jackie, what happened to the midges?
About 3 of them went over 1,000 milliliters, and the rest of them stayed down on the bottom, but a few of them went to about 100.
And the implication is?
Well, I guess it's sort of saying that they do have an innate rhythm, and they go by 24-hour cycles, and it's not mainly the temperature and everything.
Okay, so the darkness made some of the midges come on up, which is what this experiment was designed to see. And over here at the temperature experiment, hi, what's your name?
Carla.
And Carla, where do you go to school?
Clarkson.
What happened with the temperature?
The temperature stayed about the same, and it went down to 52 for like 2 minutes, and then it got back up to 54.
Okay, 54 now, climbing, thank goodness, because it got awfully chilly out here for a few minutes. That sun was beginning to disappear. Jim?
Well, it's still a little chilly out here at Piedmont Park, but a lot of people have taken the majority of their day off, it would seem. We're literally thousands of people coming to the park here, many of them bringing telescopes so they could watch the indirect viewing, other people bringing cameras, trying to take pictures. Of course, the experts said if you didn't have the proper filters or didn't know what you were doing, you probably wouldn't get a good picture of it anyway. But it's been quite an event here. They've still got a jazz band that's playing. The actual eclipse is not going to end totally until about 2 o'clock, so a lot of people are going to keep watching for some time to come. Everybody here have a good time? Oh, yeah! As you can see, they've really enjoyed it here from Piedmont Park, but they wish it had lasted a lot longer.
It looks like Jim enjoyed it.
We certainly did too, because of Jim and because of Ken. Thank you guys both. Very, very interesting. Art, how about an update on the weather?
Okay, after record cold temperatures last night, the eclipse is going to start fading away, and if we're lucky, it'll get up to 66 today, which would set another record for the coldest high temperature of the day. Clear skies tonight, an absolutely gorgeous week staying with us with gradually warming temperatures.
Okay, thanks. By the way, an update if you missed it, the Braves finally did it to the Cubs last night by a score of 7-4. The annular eclipse, the maximum portion of it is over. It hit right at 12:23, and if you want to see another one, hang around till 2017. That's the next time it comes along.
Is that right? And as we go out on the news, we're watching the moon move out of the path of the sun, in this live coverage of what has been a spectacular event of the eclipse.
Once
Thank you
in a
for being
lifetime.
with
We'll
us.
see you tomorrow.
Oh no! Brian, lunchmeats! She'll do anything to get in.
Watch. He can't resist tasty brown lunch meats with their delicious seasonings. Brian is his favorite.
Hey, sis!
That great Brian taste comes through again.
Brian makes you glad you're hungry. Brian makes you sad you're through. Brian makes so many good meats to eat, 'cause Brian makes the taste come through.
Can we talk? It seems despite the fact that MCI goes to every other state from coast to coast, has a more up-to-date network than AT&T's, and saves you up to 30, 40, even 50% of your long-distance calls, there's still a few of you out there who haven't yet switched to MCI. Look, you can do what you want, but don't call me and complain when you get your next long-distance bill. Call MCI. They can do something about it. I have done all I can, okay?
Call MCI. Join Joan Rivers and nearly 2 million others saving up to 30, 40, even 50% on their out-of-state calls.
WAGA TV, Atlanta.